In this tutorial, we'll learn how to add reference lines to get additional insights as workbook authors in Fusion Data Intelligence, or FDI. A reference line is a visual indicator, a line or a band across a chart used to compare a data point to the overall dataset and establish a baseline. This typically splits the data points into what is above and what is below a reference line, identifying things like averages, medians, thresholds, and targets in a visualization. For this example, I want to analyze monthly revenue performance against targets over the last 5 years for the U.S. primary ledger. I see that for the first 3 years there is relatively steady revenue. Then starting in 2023, there is a sharp rise followed by a dip before rapid increases again. To add a reference line, I'll select the Visualizations menu, then choose Add Statistics and Reference Line. The reference line's properties are displayed, where I can choose the settings for it. By default, the reference type is a line, which is a dotted linear visual overlay. I can also change this to a reference band to visually focus on a range between two values, in this case minimum or maximum. For this example, I will keep the default reference line type. For the line type, the default is average function selected, which would be a good choice if my revenue was consistent, but there are outliers affecting the visual, so I'll explore other functions. I'll select median to review the middle value reference line. Although it is less affected by outliers, it's still low because of the first 3 years of revenue. I can choose the percentile function and identify where 90% of fiscal periods had revenue below this line, with only a few exceptional periods where the top 10% performed better. I can choose the constant function to enter a fixed value if I have a fixed target. For example, I'll manually input a value of 600 million in revenue as the static benchmark. This reference line helps to benchmark performance. If I have a target revenue, I get an immediate visual threshold. It supports KPI tracking and quickly identifies outliers. Find additional tips and resources on using Fusion Data Intelligence in the links below.